Hello and welcome to the Goofy Movies podcast. With me today is Adam
Heyo.
and Connor.
Hello.
Um, so I want to bring up one thing that I realized today. I don't know what intrepid means.
It's
Isn't that like a
you're
voyage?
not afraid to brave new lands. I
It
think
is that intrepid is not a voyage. It's an adjective, is it not?
intrepid. No, it's an adjective. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're intrepid,
Unless it is also
fearless, adventurous. Often
ah.
used for rhetorical or humorous effect. Uh, yeah,
All right.
that's
Anyway,
us.
anyway. Besides that, anything y'all want to talk about? Like Connor, anything you want to talk about this week?
Well, thank you for softballing me that one. I got a new microphone. In case you can't tell, it sounds a lot better now.
Yeah, you really, really do. You really sound great.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it.
Buttery smooth.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up the fact that so like I so I, as you know the an extremely goofy movie like has its original soundtrack and you can listen to that anywhere, anytime. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes. You know, you can. It's easily to. It's like, it's very easy to like find a way to like listen to the Goofy movie soundtrack. But the soundtrack for an extremely goofy movie is not out there. Which again, there's not like again, there's not a lot of there's no original songs in it, but there is an exclusive cover of what's the name of the song again, Adam?
Right back where we started from.
Yeah, right back where we started from. Like very classic song. Most people, like, if you heard it, you know it. If you've seen an extremely goofy movie, it's what's played during the dance scene and the credits, and it's very iconic song. But like the extremely goofy movie, an extremely goofy movie has this unique version by Cleopatra, this black girl group from the UK, like from the '90s.
They're from the UK.
Yeah, I just read that.
Wild.
I know. Yeah, and it's so like it's really hard to like you can't find it like anywhere on the. I mean, you can find it on YouTube, obviously, but like you can't actually listen to the track by itself right properly, which is kind of like a wild thing to think about, right?
Yeah, that's annoying.
Like
'Cause
that's
it's a
like
good cover.
it's a great cover. It's really weird when there's just some music lost behind the fact that they just never got released in any real official capacity.
Mhm.
Because like what's it called? Like I can imagine that there's a CD for an extremely goofy movie soundtrack because they always sold that type of thing. But
They,
like,
they did.
but like, but like that's still one of those things that it's just like it's only available on CD, and you would have to, like now I know it's like like even back then you would have to find a physical copy of that CD.
Go out to Sound City, Tower Records. It's like, Ayo, do you have the extremely goofy movie soundtrack?
Well, I'm just saying, even like what's it called, like what's it called, you would have to go to like even something like really weird that had like used soundtracks, like what used CDs and stuff. Because like finding a brand new CD of an extremely goofy movie soundtrack would be probably next to like fucking
Well,
impossible at your like local Walmart.
well, I'm talking about back in the day.
Well, yeah, I
That's
know,
what I was
but I'm
saying.
saying like even then, like you would have to like stick. I highly doubt you'd walk into like Circuit City if any of you. God,
Yeah, I know. I know.
Circuit City's dead, right? Like just
Yeah,
completely.
dude.
God,
Circuit City is fucking dead.
it's fucking dead. But no, yeah, it's just like you would have to like fucking like, but I don't think anyone maybe like bar present company like would go out of their way to find the fucking extremely goofy movie soundtrack, you know,
No,
on
not
CD.
not not to physically go out and look for it. Probably not.
But yeah,
I found one on Amazon for $20. It's the only listing.
$20.
And you're gonna love this. A Goofy movie, the original one, is $49.
Jesus.
Wait, the CD?
Yeah.
Why? It's on Spotify. It's
Some
on
people like
iTunes.
physical media.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna get a physical audio, I'm gonna get a vinyl. I'm not gonna pay for a fucking CD. CDs are not like a fantastic quality.
Yes, they are.
Are they?
Yes,
How
they
good?
actually are.
How good is the quality of a CD
The
compared?
CD you could. I don't have the exact frame rate or whatever it would be,
Bit rate. Yeah,
but but CDs are actually extremely high quality. They're considered high quality playback
really,
format.
can you do me a favor and look that up? Like, what is the typical bitrate of a CD?
Yeah, because like when comparing bitrate, babbity boopity, babbity boopy.
Bobbity boopity, boopity scoopity.
Bibbidi bobbidi boopidi.
Okay, maybe I was a little wrong, but because high resolution audio, so maybe like FLAC files and stuff like that would be 9,200 kilobytes per second,
Yeah.
nearly 7 times higher than that of CDs, which is CDs are still higher than MP3s, and MP3s are still higher than streaming audio. CDs are 1,400 kilobytes per, which is still higher than MP3s. So they are better than people than you would think.
Wow, MP3. Yo, what the fuck? It's time we need to evolve past MP3s.
The more you
I know.
learn.
I know. We still use them, and yeah.
Because I like what's it called? Like I wish I knew how to like get LLCs from Apple. Like if I could download those instead. I wish I knew how to do that.
Well, here's another crazy thing actually. Like I think Spotify actually has a higher bitrate than Apple. You can on Spotify you can listen to.
Well, I
We're
know
getting horribly off topic right now.
I know Deezer
I'm
has
sorry.
a. I know no man. We're talking about music and like we're talking about how some of it's
On a Goofy Movie podcast?
Yeah. No. Because I want to know this.
Goofy
I want to know.
Music
I
Podcast.
want to know this information, so I know if I were to get a physical CD of the Goofy Movie podcast, like how much the bit rate am I getting from it?
About 1,400.
About 1,400, and I want to know what quality that is. It's about 9 times less of a fucking goddamn.
Then like FLAC or like high, maybe
Then,
like a
Yeah. Then like like FLAC is like the closest to vinyl, correct?
yes, but that's a really tricky subject and argument
Is
because
it?
like some people argue that vinyl is top of the line, best of the best. Others will say like no, you can make it as good or better with digital, but I do not know the answer to that. To be honest, it's a lossless format, so nothing's lost when the record's pressed, so retaining the sound as it was recorded in respect to compression.
You know,
But then it's just
you know what?
other,
How about just fuck it and find the original master yourself, asshole? Just go find the fucking original pressing, the original fucking master that's in like Disney's vaults, right?
yeah, we just have to break in and
But no, yeah. So God, can you imagine that?
Yo, and also find like the original recording of Song of the South in there. And the
Yeah.
uncut version of Black Cauldron.
I mean,
Oh my god.
I
would
mean,
actually go for that.
well, no, that's just like actually lost the time, right? You know,
I wouldn't
whatever.
actually go for that.
whatever. But yeah, but yeah. So it's kind of crazy that like that song's just been like missing. Like that song is just kind of lost to like a CD. You have to go out and find yourself. It's also fun fact: the lead singer of Cleopatra, the group that sung that cover, was on The Voice, The Voice UK. And she made it to the semifinals or something. Apparently, she's like a pastry chef or something now. Also, I think
where do you go when you hit the top?
Also, I think she's trying to like write a children's book right now, from what I saw on her Twitter. Which, whatever, I guess, right?
I mean, you're featured in an extremely goofy movie. You've reached the peak of your music career. Where do you go from there?
It's, what did Tev can Te, no Tev was it Tev
Tevin
Tevin.
Campbell.
Tevin.
Tevin. I was about to say Tev Campbell. Like what did Tevin do after after a Goofy movie?
He ascended into the heavens.
No, he's alive. He did perform that song. Like
I meant figuratively.
yeah, I don't give a shit what figuratively happened to him. I want to know what actually happened to him. Like, did we know? Did he make songs? Like, was his career was it more active before or after that?
Probably before that. I think he was like a child star because he was on one episode of.
So was Cleopatra. Cleopatra, like a young teenage girl group.
That's wild. Wait, they were both on an episode of Fresh Prince?
Were they?
No, I thought that's what you were saying.
No, I'm saying they're what's it called, like Tevin was a child star and Cleopatra was a they were like a girl, they were like a teenage girl group.
Damn. Yeah, they're from Manchester.
Yeah, Manchester, UK, and they were like teenagers when they started this shit out. They apparently had 2 shows named after their 2 albums. Whatever. Yeah, I don't care, but I'm just here being like, I'm just thinking like, should I message her to ask her some questions like, hey, do you know if there's ever a chance of a possible re-release? I know you want to get out of your shadow possibly, but I run a podcast about the Goofy
Would you
movies.
please come on our podcast?
Yeah, she actually has her like bookings thing, and I'm so tempted to be like, hi. I'm from the Goofy Movies podcast, and I'm wondering how much would it be, like how I would like to book you onto the show, like how much would that cost me? And
Make
then like
us our Patreon goal.
yeah, like make it a Patreon goal. It's like please let us pay for it to get on this fucking show,
Please, it's all we want.
It's all I want. All I want is to have somebody who worked in some weird capacity on the Goofy movie, on any of the Goofy movies. I want them.
Yeah, I got some theories and more evidence for our existing theories after watching a bunch of episodes of the Goof Troop.
Amazingly smooth transition, my friend. Fucking 10 out of 10 out of the park.
I've been fucking holding on to this for like over a week now. I can't wait.
Look, we got time, man. There's a whole podcast. We have a whole episode. Connor, were you going to say something right before Adam started his spiel?
All I was going to say is if you, in some strange capacity, the more obscure the better, have worked on an extremely goofy movie or a Goofy movie or House of Mouse or just about anything, please call us.
Like straight up, if you were like an intern who had to give like one of the animators like coffee,
I
saw like one of the pages.
Ring, ring, I gave Goofy coffee once, and he spilled it in my lap and said that I was a slop.
Cool for you.
That sounds like it.
Thank you for that contribution.
Anyway,
Yeah.
by the way, welcome, Aaron. Glad to see you here. Anyway, so yeah, like any obscurity, like if you actually like worked on either of the movies or even any of the related works, being Goof Troop or
Once Upon a
Christmas or Twice Upon a Christmas, we would love to hear from you. Hell, even if you worked on like the comics in some weird way, hit us up. Anyway, so Adam, you've been watching. I was gonna ask. So you've been watching more Goof Troop, right? Do you know?
Oh yeah.
Any episode number you're on?
I'm on like episode 68. Got like 10
Damn.
episodes left.
You're almost done. How's it feel to be almost done with it?
It's been an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I can imagine that, we've had such a strong connection to these 2 films, and for a long time, there's something, there's something deep about this movie that bind us to make this podcast, and so you took it upon yourself to make the journey to watch the origin of it all,
Indeed, I have.
And now here you are, almost at the end of your journey. Like, how are you feeling about it, dog?
I'm kind of sad to see it end,
Mm.
but I'm glad I've taken this journey. It's like it really built upon a lot of lore. It's showing just what an amazing father Goofy is, and what an absolute fucking scumbag Pete is. To every new episode I watch, Pete somehow reaches a new low.
Jesus, that also reminds me. Just speaking of like Pete, so I remembered that like you were talking about in our last episode that he like pranked in like what's like an asshole to Peg's uncle who was a veteran or was in the military. Was he a veteran or was he in the military? Well, that doesn't matter. Well,
retired general. So
a retired general. Okay, so this general. Okay, so I was about to say, there's armies in this fucking universe. You know what I mean?
Bro, there's the mafia.
World War II.
And you watch, dude, in one episode, they have the mafia in there, and Goofy and Pete witness a fucking mob hit. Like, they're putting the dude in cement shoes and shit. And they're about to fucking just execute him by throwing him in the river.
Well, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. So in the song, On the Open Road, while they're driving, they pass by a dude who's on his way to prison, and he's like serving 25 to life. He implies in his lyric, and it's kind of weird because that scene you don't know what's real and what's fake, because it's a cartoon. But like, let's say that's real, that there really was but he also implies that killing death row is a real thing in this universe by implying that Max could get this world is has a lot of actual consequences, and people commit crimes. There are gangs.
These are organized crime.
Death by lethal injection.
Yep.
It's more humane.
Pete, it's more humane.
I don't
put him in the chair.
I say put him in the chair.
It's a much better show. Watching them sizzle and fry.
They'll be just as
Good
hard
for
as the
television.
They'll be just as hard as the popcorn I'm eating while watching it.
That's pretty fucked up.
Jesus Christ. But no, I'm saying this world exists in a very realistic way, Goofy starts in a trailer. He has to get a house. He has a fucking mortgage.
He does have a mortgage.
He has an actual fucking mortgage. Fucking property and land and value, and lines, they matter. These are things that fucking matter in this fucking world. I know that's oh, who gives it? But it's just wow, there's legitimate organized crime and shit. That's crazy.
That is pretty nuts to think about.
Which gives a lot of credence to our pre 9/11 world type of thing. You know what I mean? Where it's imagine this existed in a post 9/11 world. Would that be a thing? What if Gucci was airing during that time? Would they acknowledge 9/11?
No, only Johnny Bravo can.
Oh my god.
No,
never mind. You keep going.
No, go, Connor. Go.
No, it was about Johnny Bravo. Keep going.
No, because there's a bunch of sitcoms and stuff that did subtle nods to 9/11. Friends did its best to avoid it. All that happened was that Joey's character wore that the fire department's shirt, which is kind of shitty. I'm yo, come on, you could say something. But
yeah,
but it's just I'm just wondering, this is an amazing do terrorists did Vietnam happen in this world? Did our soldiers have to understand extremely terrible guerrilla warfare? Did the Korean War happen?
Yeah. According to those old, the old cartoons.
Well, no, those cartoons cover World War II. We don't know about it. But like, they
I would
probably.
imagine Korea happened.
I would imagine, yeah, like it's possible. Like, are you telling me that a goof troop existed like during like the end of the Cold War? Like, were they worried about the about the Red Menace?
Was there the Berlin Wall?
Yeah, like what was Goofy like watching the like Ronald Reagan be like, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall? Did he hear that shit?
No, wait. Imagine Goofy causes the wall to fall down because of his hijinks.
Gosh, here I am in West Berlin. Gee whiz, it's really pretty over there. I wonder how it is on the other side of this wall. Like,
Holy fuck.
yo, this opens up a whole. This opens up a can. This opens like a real can of worms, man. Real can of worms. Anyway, Adam, you said you want. There's a lot. You said you've. So you watched about like over 10 episodes since last week because you're on like episode 50 something last week, right?
Yeah, I watched a fuck ton. Yeah, I written down a few like key episodes
Okay.
to watch if you guys ever want to watch them. To go back, episode 54 is a big one
Okay.
because
Okay.
in episode 54 we see Goofy's extended family on screen.
Yeah. You were on the phone with me the other day and told me very little about this.
All right.
so-
And according to this episode,
Mhm.
Goofy hasn't seen his family since he was a fucking child. They've never met Max. None of them. And he was going. None of them.
Okay, so does his cousin reappear in this episode?
No.
So
Yeah.
Debbie, her name was?
Yeah, Debbie.
So Debbie doesn't reappear. Upsetting.
No.
Debbie, okay.
No, we see 4 members of his extended family.
Okay.
His aunt, one of his great uncles, well, 2 of his great uncles. One's a war vet, and the other one, another
war
general.
vet?
The other one's like this Einstein guy, and then he has basically a Picasso cousin.
Picasso.
And,
cousin?
Well, I mean, like in terms of like who they're based off of. Like these are all like
they're
like
they're
he's
all
very
ba-
like
they're all like
like,
kind
you
of
know.
based off of like okay.
yeah.
Do they look like
Alright.
Goofy?
They all look like Goofy. They all talk like him. Like his aunt is just basically Goofy with a higher pitched voice.
Okay.
The other ones have like their own voices. It's
Oh.
just like the aunt sounds like Goofy, but they all look like him.
Okay.
All right. He is on his way to this big family reunion that he managed to scrounge up money all throughout the year for this. $200 he's saved up. They're driving to the airport for their plane ticket, where they're about to buy their plane tickets. They have a little bit of car trouble on the way. They stop at Pete's. They're like, "Hey, can you take a look at it? We were in a hurry." And Pete was like starting off being a friend, and it's like checking his thing. It's like, "Oh, since you got just a screw loose, I can replace it for just $1." And Goofy takes out his wad of cash to give him $1, and Pete, the motherfucker, cons Goofy into giving up all of his money, and now he can't afford a fucking plane ticket to see his family during this reunion.
Jesus.
Instant
Christ.
karma. Instant fucking karma, because when they're traveling back home and Peg sees Goofy and Max coming, they're like, "What are you doing here? I thought you'd be at the airport." And it's like, "We had car troubles. According to Pete, we had a bunch of issues with the car," and she gets instantly pissed, gets on the phone, and has the entire family flown over and put up at Pete's house on Pete's dime
Queen
to
shit.
fucking teach him a fucking lesson. What a fucking woman. And
What a woman.
Jesus. Christ.
yeah, it's like, bro, you're about to like it's like you're about to not see Goofy for like a good a good week at least for this family reunion. Why would you not want him to get on this plane? Be like, "Goof, go there, take my car, go. Free the Goof for a week."
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I know. But Pete's ridiculously scummy. Holy shit.
Yeah. But this makes after watching a fuck ton of episodes, I've seen this. Pete always ropes Goofy into some scheme he's working on and makes Goofy pay for it himself.
Mhm.
So it makes me wonder: is Goofy poor because like he made? It's like I like to think Goofy wasn't poor because like he just couldn't get a job and stuff. He probably had a lot of money from all the movies and cartoons he did.
Mhm.
Is he lost it all because he's easily gullible and got conned into one too many like schemes from by other people, and that's how he lost all his money?
Mhm.
Oh, that's my theory because it makes sense. Like you see him, he's literally just
Well,
opening his wallet.
well, yeah, no, that's fair. That's extremely fair. But you know what? What if I know this is gonna I'm gonna bring back up the divorce theory. What if that's how come Goofy ended up like kind of like low key penniless? Like, because oh, went 50-50, but like they kind of like the divorce lawyer kind of conned Goofy into like splitting everything like more to the wife than like, to himself. Is like why he got the raw end of the deal. You know,
Yeah.
I could see that.
because like yeah, again, you have to negotiate like unless you have like a prenup or whatever, you have to negotiate like what happens when like I got the only chance that it doesn't end up unless like one of the people claim abuse, it's just like a matter of like okay, how do you guys want to split up the assets, right? Like and so like if Goofy got like just like like in his own it was just him, or maybe he just got like a really bad lawyer, or Goofy didn't like listen to like his lawyer's advice at all, or maybe, which is possible for Goofy. He just got duped into like getting the really raw end of the deal of the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I could see that.
Yeah. More evidence is also uncovered for our actor theory.
But before
Because
but before you continue, anything other interesting things about that episode with Goofy's family? Did they say anything interesting about Goofy's family history or whatever?
no, it's more they didn't really talk about any other family members. They was just like they were all just like wrecking Pete's life by existing and like fucking up his home. Like the his one cousin, since he's an artist, he's literally painting all over the furniture and the walls because he's like one of those abstract paint.
Hmm. So
You
basic.
know,
So basically, none of them give up any other information about Goofy's like family's like history or nothing.
yeah, and no name dropping, no like photo albums, nothing like that.
Upsetting. And they all just look like Goofy too.
Yeah, they all just look like Goofy in like different outfits. Like Goofy if he looked like Albert Einstein,
Yeah.
Goofy in like a.
That's upsetting. That there's so much potential for more. But then again, they didn't. It's not like they anticipated us like fucking like being like this.
They didn't anticipate us.
No, they didn't. So the next episode of importance.
There's like one episode. Well, like I was mentioning earlier about the mob hit. It was episode like 58, I believe.
Hmm.
At the end of the episode, Goofy's checking his watch, and he looks at his watch, and it's him on the watch, like like that Mickey Mouse watch with the arms, but it's him.
Okay, that's interesting.
Like what kind? Like I don't think Goofy is the kind of like person with a massive ego that he would just like make a custom watch of himself.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's that adds credence to like memorabilia actor theory.
Hmm. Like he got a free version of it because it has his likeness. I can see
Yeah,
that. It's curious. Like,
yeah, but
does Goofy act any particular way with the it's a pocket watch? You said.
no, it's just a wristwatch.
Oh, so it's a wristwatch. Okay. He doesn't act any
Mhm.
particular way about it. He doesn't like mention like it's an heirloom or nothing.
No, he was just like looking at his watch, and he says to like says drops a line to me, "Gosh, Pete, like you can still make your cruise if you hurry."
Okay. So
Yeah.
okay, so because as far as we know, about Goofy's characterization, is that if it was a family heirloom or like something of like something significant value, he would have mentioned it. Because
Mhm.
Goofy, not to be rude to anyone, he loves mentioning, be like, "Oh, this was passed down from goof to goof to goof." Like he loves talking about that shit. He loves bringing up like his dad or his grandfather or whatever.
there's several
Mm.
episodes that are dedicated to like history of the Goof family, and it's this like spoof of like other stuff like Robin Hood and like detectives. And the last episode I just watched was like in the Wild Wild West, like basically like a Wide Earp kind of deal. And he's like showing off the family album to Maxie to like tell him a lesson.
Yeah, so so yeah, like as far as we know, like so yeah, like this has to be a relatively unimportant watch to him, but it still has his face on it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, that probably does definitely imply that it's just like a memorabilia thing, and yeah, probably something that he held on to from the heyday.
Mm-hmm. Also, like I think to like why is Goofy so clumsy? Because he mentions in an episode he needs glasses, he just doesn't wear them.
Yeah, he does. He wears glasses in college. Remember?
Yeah, well, he was reading, but I'm saying like in the cartoon, he even mentions like
Well, that's what I
like
mean. Maybe he was like, well, if I gotta focus, I gotta focus on my studies, so I put on these glasses.
mhm. Like leading to his like reasons why he's such a goof and like
Mm.
tripping and causing all this calamity is because he just can't see.
Mm.
He's just fucking Mr. Magoo.
No, Mr. Magoo. Oh my
That's
god.
a
I was about to say I was like, I wonder what any youngins are gonna know if Mr. Magoo. But then girlfriend reviews made a reference to Mr. Magoo. Then again, they edited and clipped from Mr. Magoo. Whatever.
but just a whole lot of episodes is just showing off like lately what a piece of shit Pete is. Like it's just building off of that. Like he fucking like just encourages like Pete like in order to just like get him out of the way, he encourages PJ to take money out of fucking Peg's purse.
Oh my
He was
fucking god! Are you serious?
because I'm fucking dead serious. He's like, because like he was getting a special delivery and he didn't want the family to see it, and he's just like, oh PJ, say your mother's purse is upstairs unguarded, if you know what I mean. Ha ha ha. Yeah, go along, you little scamp. And he just runs upstairs and like just sends him upstairs. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's really
Yeah.
fucked up.
He mentions he fucking says it outright that he sold his fucking kids' college fund. He emptied out their college fund for fucking new hunting gear to hunt ducks one episode.
Wait, so PJ by episode whatever and Pistol have no college fund?
Yep, apparently according to that episode.
And so what happens? Does he like return it or whatever?
No, not that episode at least.
So
he never.
So like, does he get any what is comeuppance for doing that?
Well, he first off, he's a terrible hunter. He couldn't hunt the ducks. When he thinks he killed one, like the other ducks like guilt trip him into having all the ducks move into his house, and he has to caretake for them all. And they just make his life a living nuisance.
I'm
just
back.
like
Sorry, homies.
No problem. Like making him an indentured servant to the ducks.
Jesus Christ. So at episode what, like 50 whatever, or what, like Pete and PJ and Pistol don't have a fucking college fund.
Nope, he emptied it out for his selfish reasons.
Holy shit, dude! How is this, dude? How the fuck is Peg still with this dude?
I think Peg's into fat guys. Because in one episode he was trying to lose weight, not because of his he just feels the need to, but because there was a campaign that if for every pound you lose, you'll get $25. So he was gonna try to lose as much weight as possible. And Peg says I don't want an attractive athletic man with a good physique. I want you. And then a previous episode before that, there was a buff bodybuilder who was just so head over heels for Peg, and she was not giving him the time of day at all. And in another episode, during their fucking it's supposed to be their anniversaries coming up, and she mentions when they first started dating, he was just waiting on her hand and foot, and was super thoughtful and just loving her. And then over the years, he just treated her just like an indentured servant, just catering to his every whim. And she's actually sick and tired of it by that thing. So she tricks him into thinking that their anniversary is earlier,
Mhm.
and just to, like, he's like, oh, he's, and right now he's got, I would say he'd be back in 10 minutes. Realize, like, 3 minutes to realize all the stores are closed. 4 minutes to go dumping into a dumpster to find something, and then like 1 minute for travel time. And that's exactly what the fuck happens. And so she acts really upset, and like the Goofy recommends what she really wanted, which is like a getaway, like island getaway vacation. And what did fucking Pete does? He's like, here, Goofy, here's $15 and spend every penny for this fucking trip. And he's like, while he's going on this trip, which somehow they book, he's saying like, oh, this trip better be worth it. It's $14 more than I would have liked to have spent.
So are things like super cheap in this universe?
Apparently.
Because like,
But no,
like $200 was like, okay.
2 plane tickets, you have to, like, round trip 200.
Yeah, like I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
but
weird.
yeah, and then it's just like another episode. Like Goofy wins like a call-in radio thing to like get a free like renovation on his house, and he left the phone real quick to go grab Maxie to tell him the good news, and Pete was right there, and Pete's like gives his address and names for the prize.
Jesus, that's fucking dude.
Comeuppance was a scam, and the people that were renovating his house just straight up stole everything inside, and he had to like pay them a fuck ton of money to get all his shit back.
So okay. So Peg is probably into big dudes.
Mm-hmm.
That much is fair.
Yeah.
So, do you think that's the reason why PJ is fat?
What do you mean, like?
Well, if
she purposely fat?
Yeah, because like, what's the Pistol doesn't look like she's remotely overweight, right?
Yeah.
Well, Peg's in shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like maybe like she just thinks like if he like she'll find like you like, oh, if you like you get where I'm coming at, like, it's like, oh, that's what
I understand what you mean, like, yeah, like, like you'll find a good woman just like me if you just like your good mother if you're a fat guy and stuff. But I mean, I feel like PJ he also just likes food in general. It's not like she's force feeding him.
No, but I'm saying like I'm saying, did you think she like kind of like influenced that habit in him?
Probably. Or
like,
she's just a good mom, and it's just like, what her, if this is what...
Nigga, that dude's fucking massively obese. That's not what a good mom does.
Well, I mean, it's like, in the sense of like, this is what makes him happy, like, this is his life.
But he's massively obese. Like, let's be honest. Like, I don't mean to look, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not here to fat shame or anything, because, I'm not the skinniest dude on earth myself. I have too many pounds on me myself. But he's a child. He's like 11, right? 11 and a half, 12?
Yeah, like the same age as Max.
Like that kid is like that's not healthy for a kid at all. Especially a kid his age. You know what I mean?
Oh no, yeah.
Like, I get it, like, maybe it's a bit out of love, but like, but at the same time, like it's just like, if she's being a cool mom, I kind of get it, but I wouldn't say that's something a good mom lets slide.
I understand, but also another thing that's weird, they name drop Disneyland in Goof Troop, so Disneyland exists in a Goofy movie universe.
That's weird. That's super weird.
Yeah.
Like Disneyland or Disney World?
They say Disneyland.
So that's the one in California.
Yeah.
Huh, that's weird.
And like something else that's kind of like that kind of breaks the lore was episode 60. Like Goofy's trying to prepare Max for a spelling bee, and Max is just like brushes it off. It's just like, what do I? It's like, this is the prime of my life. I should be outside playing and then like getting exercise. It's like, well, you got a point there, and it's just like, and he's like, but an education's important. And Max just stops him and says like, how important is it? You never got one. You never finished your education, and so Max and like Goofy's like, well, I gotta set a fine example for Max, so he follows through. I'm going back to school and gonna get me that diploma, but he's not going back to college. He goes back to elementary school, and he's like in Max's class, getting like taking the classes so he can. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Just pulls a fucking Billy Madison.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't you say in an Extremely Goofy movie you were in the college in the 70s? How did you go to college if you didn't have an elementary school diploma?
Maybe he was just fucking with Max. Who knows?
No, he straight up gets the fucking diploma at the end of the episode, and it's for elementary school. Because he's like, huh, I got that college diploma, and the principal's like, that's elementary school.
Well,
diploma.
So he just got confused. Because he thinks he's going for college, but he doesn't.
It's funny is like they all like his dad way more than they like Max, to a point where even PJ, it's like, hey, it's like, oh, hi Max, I'm just here to see my best friend in the world, and he's like, and it's fucking Goofy's coming around, and Goofy comes down the stairs like, oh, sorry to keep you waiting, PJ, just had to find my baseball glove. It's just like
that's consistent with the lore, because it shows time and time again that Goofy's really good with kids. With young kids specifically.
Also, apparently, Pete eats paste. Because like when he bets his wife that he can go like 24 hours without eating, and they're like cleaning out like his clothes and stuff, and she goes, and it's like they say like, it's like teacher's paste is like, I picked up the habit when I was in kindergarten. So I'm like, you've just been keep on eating paste into an adulthood? Jesus Christ, man.
Remember that Powerpuff Girls episode when they eat paste? Like that kid eats paste? And how disgusting it was.
Ugh, why are you making me remember that?
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, like damn man, like
Also, just a little quick thing, the guy who voices Tank, he was also on an episode of Goof Troop as a burglar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just a little neato-dito thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Tank?
Yeah, Tank's
the everybody hates Raymond actor.
Oh.
Well, everybody loves Raymond. Not everybody hates Raymond. I got.
Yeah, I know.
That's probably Tank's dad then.
Oh yeah.
Sweetheart.
I can't believe they didn't have the cousin come back for like the family reunion episode. Would have been a good callback.
Yeah, that would. I like this one joke that they had in the episode when it's like in the Wild Wild West. It's like Pete shoots a gun at Goofy, and the bullets stop in front of him, and they say, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" And Goofy looks at the camera, and he's like, "Oh, look, I'm being riddled by bullets."
Son of a bitch.
That's some good dad. That's a dad joke that I appreciate was in there. Also, he's hiding when he jumps into a pickle barrel to like hide from Pete. He's like, and he goes, "Look, I'm really in a pickle now."
All right, though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that was it.
Pete says, "He's Pickle Goofy, the funniest shit I ever seen."
Yeah. But Pete has a small moment of I'd say small redemption in one episode. The episode of when he forgets his wife's when he forgets their anniversary, because he chose that he kept his gift from his first anniversary he had with his wife, which was a locket she got of him, of like them together and like the photos. And I was like, that's so it's like like he's like at least 1% he's good inside of him, but a lot of times he's just fucking straight up asshole. Like one time he straight up smashes he smashed Goofy's snowman that was in the middle of the street on purpose because he saw it there. He's like, "Oh, this is just too easy." And while he did it, he swerved and knocked into their mailboxes and took them out, and he makes Goofy pay for the damages.
That's a federal offense.
Indeed.
I can't believe Pete's a fucking felon.
I mean,
I,
I can
I'm
believe
not
it.
surprised.
Yeah, I
The
know.
the man was under under was on the 6 o'clock news for all his shitty business practices that he did, and
Yeah.
was threatened by the police that if he has any more like shady deals, he's going to jail.
Mm.
Hey guys, I don't know if we covered this, but this is an interesting piece of info. I don't know who did this, but somebody put like the dates together. So there's a French Mickey Mouse comic that may debunk the idea that they're separated.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah. Well, we covered the thing in what's it called in the last episode that the only reason why Peg and Pistol aren't in an extreme in a Goofy movie is that it's because like they're like, oh, it would have just taken away from the father son story and the mirror reflections between the two father son relationships that are going throughout the movie. That's the only reason why they're not there, but they just still don't pop up. The thing that's really bizarre is that is that he doesn't they don't pop up at all, and the way that Pete talks in an extremely Goofy movie is one of the weirdest things. Because in that French comic seems like it takes place around the time of a Goofy movie. Correct? Right, Connor?
well, the math here says it takes place approximately 4 months prior to a Goofy movie.
Yeah, it takes place. Damn, that nigga really did the fucking math. Holy shit.
100 years. It takes place 100 years after the invention of the cinematograph by the Lumiere brothers, who patented it on February 13th, 1895. 100 years later from that date, which is when the little comic takes place, would be
Yeah.
February 13th, 1995.
Yep.
So Goofy Movie is indicated by several pieces of official merchandise to take place in 95, with a calendar seen in the movie further placing it in the month of June. Ah.
Well, we know it's good. We know it's June because
summer.
yeah. Well, not only because it's summer, they say I'm gonna party from now until the end of July.
Yeah.
So it would mean it would have to take place before July.
Yeah.
And so like it would have to be either like the latest it could be it's like July itself, but like more likely because that's when school gets out in America typically is in the middle of June, toward the end of
Right.
June. So yeah. I like, but yeah. So but like yeah, again, that doesn't explain an extremely Goofy movie because that's where really the mystery continues because there is no longer the
Excuse.
well not the excuse the father son. There's no longer the mirror of the father son dynamic in
Yeah, that doesn't focus as much.
it's not a thing in Extremely Goofy movie. There's no they don't show the mirror as to what a bad one is because it's just focused on Max's and Goofy's in the for Goofy's plot line mostly, and but the fact that Pete says I'll finally have the house to myself. I can't miss you if you're not. I can't miss you if you're not gone. You know, like man, doing Pete's voice is so much fun.
It is. It is a lot of fun.
I'm a total scumbag.
I'm a sociopath.
Hey, it was me, Goofy. I did 9/11.
They'll
That
never be on
MC
the
was
podcast.
being way too chatty.
No, but yeah, like so, like the fact that Pete talks that way in that in the in that
Extremely
movie,
Goofy.
in an extremely Goofy movie, really just kind of adds this really bizarre element of of not making sense. You know?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
like
No, I agree with that.
like it's just like because there's no active reason why they couldn't be in it, but for some reason they're not. So it's a tad weird. That's how come if I know this, like I know I say this all the time, but if I wanted if I could have a guest, like one of them, I would love to have the director from an extremely goofy movie to ask why he also opted to not include Peg and Pistol. Because I think I would have enjoyed seeing like a more grown up Pistol. I would have enjoyed to see Peg again.
It might just be a case of too many characters, especially when they don't like really matter. And with an animation thing, like budget constraints are gonna be tight. And that movie already does look beautiful. Like animation wise, it looks fucking great.
Yeah, but not to be rude, but Peg has more presence and necessity over fucking Beret Girl, who doesn't have a fucking name.
Polly
Yeah,
Shar. There, you could have saved the budget.
So this is okay. This is like you're probably right. There's a lot of budget things, but you know what? The main reason why I think they don't bring her back is most likely due to the fact that it's a sequel to an extremely goofy to a goofy movie, and they're like, nah, we're gonna keep it like they're like if they say, you know what, people won't know that Peg and Pistol aren't there. If you're a Goof Troop fan, yeah, you might notice. Like again, but at the same time, who cares? They because again, like Pete is extremely irrelevant in an extremely goofy movie. If we're being honest, he pops up for 2 scenes. Can anyone back me up on that?
Yeah, he's just in the opening scene.
The opening barbecue.
Doing the barbecue, and then when Goofy goes back home.
Yeah, when Goofy fucks up after Goofy fucks up at his midterms because he had like a terrible nightmare, so to add Peg and Pistol into those scenes would have been very minimal, but yeah, I mean, of course, it would have been additional like animation work and like to hire the voice actors. Like maybe it would have just been out of budget.
They could have easily just dropped the line and said, "Oh, 1 kid down, 1 more to go. Then I have the house all to myself again." Ah ha ha ha.
Yeah,
easy peasy.
Or like it's like like 1 more and I'll finally all of them will be out of the nest.
Yeah, and then she could like yell at him, and he'll be like, "Yes, dear," or something like that. It'd be like just as a throwaway line.
It'd be mine, yours, ours, dear.
Yeah, see how easy that is.
Yeah,
they don't even have to be on screen.
Yeah, they don't even have to be on screen. You could pay them for 2 fucking lines.
They're one of the animators to play Peg.
Nah, you gotta get the voices back.
Well, she's apparently been in a what's her name? April Winchell. She's in a ton of fucking Disney shit.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if JFK in the Goofy universe had the same like voice JFK has in like Clone High?
He's an inspiring figure. And on Wednesdays, I do that. And I have nothing else.
And I want to thank our men and women in the service.
That's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Gosh, what can I do for your country? What do you mean? I pay them. I pay taxes to them. They should be working for me.
Look, Goofy, here's what you're going to have to do. When the motorcade comes around the corner, that's when you take the shot. Gosh, are you sure about this?
Gosh,
trust
Pete.
me. Yeah.
Gosh, you sure about this, Pete? Sure. I'm sure it sure can be. Alrighty then. Gosh.
Holy fuck.
Do you think? All right, whatever.
Do I think what? No, I want to know.
Do you think Goofy Ronald Reagan had sex with Goofy Marilyn Monroe?
What?
Yeah, the Goofy
Ronald
version.
Reagan do that?
Oh no, I'm thinking JFK. JFK. JFK.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about Ronald Reagan now. But do you think Goofy JFK had sex with Goofy Marilyn Monroe?
Yes.
Happy birthday,
Absolutely.
Yo, honestly,
Mr.
that.
President.
Oh, jeez.
Happy
Fuck
birthday.
no, fuck off. He would. It would just be Marilyn Monroe.
Bitch, my family's here. You can't just sing that.
Bitch, my family's here. Can't just do that in front of them.
You don't understand. If I don't have sex constantly, I get horrible, horrible headaches. That's actually true. He did say that. He has been on record saying that if he doesn't have sex constantly, he has horrible headaches.
So what was he a sex addict?
Allegedly.
Okay.
JFK was a.
But yeah, so we're reaching the hour mark. We're 5 minutes out from it. But yeah, like, what a weird, bizarre world that is and a Goofy movie, and extremely Goofy movie, Goof Troop, and the related works. You know? Yeah, it's kind of weird how the only work that like kind of really doesn't fit in like at all, because it just really doesn't. It's just the Once Upon a Christmas Goofy story.
Mm-hmm.
And the only problem with that story is that Max is too young in it. You know, because like, if Max was like at least a little bit older, you could write off all the like lack of PJ, lack of Peg and Pistol, like that they were just inside the house or whatever. But the fact that they decided to make Max young is really interesting. Okay, yeah. So you know what? Okay, do we know what job Goofy was doing while he was in the in the trailer park?
No, it's like they're just in. It's just in the trailer park. We never say what he was doing, like his job wise. They were just living inside the trailer.
But he was saving up money and also pursuing his getting a certificate.
Yeah, like some sort of trade. So I think it's like I look by the sound of it, and by the looks of it was like a trade school sort of thing to be like like a
because he's a handyman
doing handyman carpenter work sort of deal.
Well, a handyman, you need to trade for a handyman. So he does the handyman trade. So, but we don't know what he was doing for a job. Okay, what if? Okay. All right, hear me out. So, what if the theory that we got going from this point forward, Goofy, after a young age, has had sex, meets this woman, has sex with her, gets pregnant, divorces him, takes him for nearly everything that he has up until that point. But Goofy retains anything he gets afterwards because there's no way he's gonna be paying alimony, right? Like a judge would approve of that, and not like because it would be too unfair, right?
Unless she was sleeping with the judge.
We can't prove that in any realistic way. But okay, so let's say that, and then what if? But because he has to at least put a down payment on the house, because you have to do that in order to like buy a house, right?
Yeah.
What if like he was still getting royalties this whole time, and he was like saving up all the royalties while he was going to school, like spending it on just the bare necessities, like the very bare minimum of the bills, and the rest of it was going to buy like a house in Spoonerville. You know, like I feel like that makes sense, right?
It would check out in terms of like it's very in character.
Okay, so man, that's weird, man. That's super. I feel like we almost have the entire like puzzle like figured out. Because I really want to believe that it's just a divorcing situation. Because there's nothing about Goofy or anything that implies that she's dead.
Like again, like I said last episode or the episode before, the wedding ring. He's never wearing it.
He's never
If
wearing.
she was dead, he would definitely have had the wedding ring on, and they would have at least made a reference
or referenced it, or because again, a lot of people have this false memory of Goofy being like, she's up amongst the stars, but Goofy never says that.
I'm 10 episodes left, and he's never said that.
It's a false memory a lot of people have. They don't know where. It's like a Mandela effect kind of thing. Apparently, because a lot of people remember Goofy saying that line at some point in Goof Troop, but he doesn't. That's not something that ever happens in Goof Troop. So there's nothing about the show or series or the movies or the other related works that imply that she's dead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that
just would have brought it up.
It would have been brought up in some way or fashion, like maybe a photo of her in the house, maybe like something,
Mm-hmm. Like they would have said like this. I was like, Maxie, this was your mom's, something like that. Nothing.
Yeah, like something. It really leads me to believe that in some capacity the family has left. That she left it like Max and him, which which relates me to I don't know. There's a lot here, Before, what if that's what the third movie dealt with, like Mrs. Goof coming back.
God, that would be something. I'd prefer to see Sylvia come back.
Oh no, yeah, I would prefer to see Sylvia come back too. But wouldn't it be crazy if they announced because what would be the title for the final Goofy movie?
An inordinately goofy movie.
An outrageous Goofy movie? I don't know.
An unbelievably goofy movie.
A modern Goofy movie?
Oh God, yeah, that probably would be what it is.
Yeah, so let's say it's about that, and then
Goofy 2020 is
the final Goofy movie.
Nah, it has to be you gotta go with the naming scheme. Because again, it's a Goofy movie and then an Goofy movie. An extremely Goofy movie, sorry.
A Goofy, one more final, I need you.
A Goofy movie,
one more final.
days over 2. Final mix plus.
And no, wouldn't it be and one more final? I need you. I need you. Goofy movie.
Yeah, that's what it would be.
Supercharged Turbo Alpha featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Now featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Dante just pops up. This party's getting crazy. Like Goofy's like, I don't.
Or how about this?
No. It's gonna be like Goofy be like, how do I win her back, Dante? Like I just don't know what to do without her, and he's crying and shit. And Dante's like, woo, woo, woo.
Stylish.
God, sword master, trickster.
No. Like, the reason why I bring that up, you know what? That has nothing to do with this podcast. But no, you're gonna say, Adam?
I was gonna say to make it in lore and stuff would be featuring Peg and Pistol from a Goof Troop.
Featuring Peg and Pistol from Goof Troop. Exactly. Like I want that. Like I don't know. I feel like, don't get me wrong, an extremely Goofy movie is such a fantastic finale for Goofy's characterization and character arc. Mm-hmm. It really feels like his journey is complete by the end of an extremely goofy movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I would really, really love it if by some chance they were just able to kind of finish up like some of the like some of the narrative loose ends, like where is Peg and Pistol, where is what happened to Max's mom, what what does Max do like with his life after college, like what happened? Is he with Roxanne? Is he with Mona? Like give me a movie that just completes all that. You know what I mean?
That would be nice.
By the way, Adam,
Like
how much?
Mm-hmm. No, just something to like top everything off.
Yeah, exactly. Just be like, like Yeti, just like have like, like a thing to just finish it. Adam, by the way, how much was Pauly Shore's cameo again?
$325 or something like yeah, $325.
Good God. How long are you like
I think it's 2 minutes because it seems like everything on there is 2 minutes. Oh God, you gotta watch it though. Like he's like when he's doing this shit, it's like he's like in his fucking kitchen and he looks so fucking hungover. He's like, hey, D. I'm like, wow, he's really stretching it now.
Can you imagine if like Pauly Shore is like only getting royalties because of us watching a goofy movie, an extremely goofy movie on Disney Plus? That's the only reason why he's getting fucking royalties nowadays, because of our fucking asses.
And that's why he's got to get on the fucking podcast. He owes it to us.
He owes it to us.
All right, now he's never coming in.
Implying he was ever gonna come in the first place.
Hey man, you never know.
Like I said it before off camera, like if this thing gets taken down due to copyright strikes from Disney, that will make this podcast canon in the Disney universe.
Well, Disney owned. It definitely will be Disney owned. Yeah, like hey man, you never know. You never know the future. If you guys want us to get a cameo from Pauly Shore, help that fund. Maybe we'll put that in before or after to share. We don't know. It didn't squeak too bad this time. I think I tried to get myself still as possible. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hitting those like buttons, hitting subscribing. But yeah, please still keep that up. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification. All that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Also, please do down in the comments wish our very own Moses a happy birthday, because today on the upload date is his birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Moses.
Yeah. When the day when I upload this, it will be my birthday. Thank you very much for that. Very kind of you. But yeah, that's all from us. Any final words from anyone?
I was just mentioning one final thing. If everyone can check this out, just this episode I had written down. It's nothing really important outside of just like animation wise. Episode 59, at least on Disney Plus, the quality of animation and sound quality was awful.
Okay.
That's just something to check out if you guys ever get the chance.
Wonder if there's a reason behind that. Any final words, Connor?
No, I'm all set.
All right, man. Well, yeah, again, thank you guys. Have a good one, y'all.
See you next week.
You're a grand old